Go.
You're good.
What's up, guys? I'm Tyler with Whatever Blows Your Hair Back. And we are here. I got a guest on the show today. We got Ryan Stoner in the house, good friend of mine. Hey, Ryan, you want to go and tell the people about yourself and what brought you in today real quick?
Yeah, right on. Thanks for having me, man.
Yeah.
Real glad to be here. I was just, I'm back. I'm living over in Grand Rapids, but me and Tyler, we go way back. We boxed out of Standish for years together.
Tom Toth coached us. He's a Marine.
We trained in a basement. He was a prison guard, and he'd bring in his guard buddies, and they'd make it about a round with us, and then he'd bring a fresh one in and just recycle them. And we're like 16, 17, getting all right. When they'd land a punch.
We had to fight each other a lot, dude. I hated that shit. I was like, man, we got to fight each other. It seemed like so much we had to fight each other in that little basement with those ropes.
I couldn't stand it. And when you had braces, man.
Yeah, I'd be bleeding every time. I could see it in your eyes. I'm like, Ryan, I can't take another one. You could see it in my eyes. And you would let off sometimes because you were a better boxer than me. And so, like, our friendship bugged in the sport there. And I'm like, dude, I know he just didn't knock me out on purpose. Like, yeah, you had that. So I'll thank you that 25 years later.
Yeah, you know, you got to hold back. But I had you by like 25 pounds. So
yeah, well,
better boxer, I don't know about that.
Talking about boxing and talking about Ryan, he ended up winning the Golden Glove State Championship of Michigan, and it was just impressive all the way up to the top. We fought, and I was with him in the beginning all the way up to the States as well. But our first fight was in Flint. Yep. Me and Ryan both went down. And we both won. I knocked my guy out, and what'd you do with your guy? No, your fights were hard, man.
Oh yeah, I had a tough guy. I had that. His name was like Ojibwe or something. I mean, I didn't fight a guy. I don't think either of us did. That was under 20.
My guy was in the. Oh yeah, we were 17. I remember I was young Tyler. I was fighting a guy dude in the army, and I was 22. I'm like, I got to fight a 22-year-old in the army. I'm like 17. I won. I knocked him out, too. Well, I knocked him down in the second round, and I ended up winning by points.
Hell yeah.
I hit him with the right hand. You won.
That was some freaky shit.
Yeah.
When you're that young and you're going up against, you know, from little small-town Standish, some inner-city guys.
Some scary shit.
Yeah.
It was scary. We would have to go down to Bay City, which brings in Coach Bob Ross with us today, who's been training in the gym. He's from Bay City. So he's a boxer. He's a Marine as well. If you look, we got the Marine Corps flags, heavy Semper Fidelis over here. You got to say anything about your Bob? Introduce yourself in the mic.
Hey, what's up, everybody? How's it going? I'm glad to be here.
Yeah, and so that's, Bob, he's brief and to the point. New on the sticks back there, so we'll bounce it back. So, Rye, what more you got to say about ourselves and our career before we launch into this podcast and talk about the greatness we're building here and what's soon to come and the proposition, the value that we're going to bring to the community? That's what we're going to talk into. Do you got anything to add to the story before we move on?
Yeah. I just say, like, it was scary shit, but, I mean, that fear drove us. That fear of losing, that fear of punking out. And, like, you get in, you got to fight, you got to show up to it because you got to look yourself in the mirror the next day. And if you punk out on that, man, you never live it down. I
always tell people it's a team sport. I say in here with the training with the guys, everyone's goofing around, having a good time. And it's for sure 100% a team sport, but there's nothing about a team sport when you get in the real fight and you're the only one in that ring and everyone's watching. There's nothing team about that, really. I mean, you got the corner guys, but you're out there alone. I mean, there ain't a lonelier feeling.
Oh, absolutely.
Being out there. You
sign yourself up to take a fight or to get into the gloves tournament, which is grueling, by the way, as you know. It's a fight every week
we
after
fought.
week after week.
You
fought. You get your nose busted week 1. You got 5 more fights.
You fought, dated. I apologize. I didn't stay and watch your fight. I think about that often. It was a dickhead move, the circumstances, I guess, whatever. But when you went to the States, you won. Or no, your fight got pushed to Sunday. That's what it was. Or did you fight back-to-back?
I was supposed to, but the guy who I was supposed to fight was going to be a rematch of the guy I'd beat at the last fight.
He
got kicked off his team because he tried to pick a fight with me after the fight we had in the ring. I won the fight, and he said, let's take it to the street.
Remember that?
I think I remember that.
They had us up on the big screen. Remember we had commentators? They put us up on the big screen. We were signing kids' shirts. At that level, everybody was a winner
there.
there.
A big deal. I mean, you're still a big deal now, but
yeah, it was good stuff. We're talking about highschooldreams.com, but yeah, it was a good moment. Then they would play our fights in high school at lunch
Yeah,
in front
they
of all
play
the
'em.
kids. So
That was nice because it wasn't a school thing. We did it outside of
Yeah.
school, and everyone they get the announcements for the football
Yeah,
players,
yeah.
and Fritz is throwing himself touchdowns and shit. And but they gave us a little pat on the back, show it when we went to states, and you got bronze.
Yeah, they took it. Yeah.
And I won the gloves, and they made it special for us. And Mr. Hout, give him credit for that. Good
He's a
guy.
cool dude. Well, Mr. Walderzak let me do my own workout and strength training too, because I had to do a lot of running and light work, and he recognized that. He said, "Hey, man, do your own thing. I recognize what you're doing." And so at that moment, let's lead on to the treatment when you get involved in boxing and the respect from your elders and everyone that shows that you're part of a hard combat sport. And you're competing at a decent high level and you're doing well and you're excelling and you're a good kid, your look is just pristine, right? Like you get treated differently from other people, right? Like we just talked about 2 different scenarios where we got treated differently because of what we were doing. And that leads us what we're trying to do to the kids here in Standish so they can feel that.
Yeah, people have. I mean, I'm not saying I'm so great or nothing, but just people have more respect for you because they know it takes guts to get in the ring, and a lot of people won't do it. And like we were talking a bit about how I got into boxing in the first place. It's like I was riding the bench in football, second string right guard for
You
year
were
after year.
pigeon-toed, man. You couldn't even run. I'm like,
I
man.
feel bad for you guys. I just throw them at guard.
I needed some of those Forrest Gump leg braces. Or something. But anyway, that worked out on its own. But yeah, so you get into a ring.
You all right, man? You want to talk? Like, you guys want to take this off? Like, this guy's got some issues. You letting it out or what?
But you're not going to let down a team like by striking out if you're in a boxing ring. You might let yourself down, but I could deal with that. It was kind of the fear of humiliation of I didn't like that shit.
The pressure. You're talking about the pressure, dude, of delivering when everyone's counting on you.
Yes.
Which they're counting on you in the ring, but in a football game, they're looking at the whole team. But if the guy misses the pass that could win the game, I mean, is that the pressure that is differently you're explaining?
Yeah, you're gonna look like a boner, and you're gonna feel bad about it.
But if you get knocked out too, it's like missing the touchdown pass, right?
But I don't know. Just getting in the ring itself is
You
a
ain't
win
letting your
in itself.
teammates down.
You didn't
It's
let your
not the
teammates down.
prospects watching. That's the same.
It's
It's
kinda
the teammates down, and if you lose, you lose. Which that's when it comes to your coaches. I'll be honest, man. I'm always honest, but I've been in a lot of losing corners in my fight game. After the fact, I started training other fighters, and I was an MMA corner guy for like 6 fighters and boxers. And I walked the L, man. They walked out, got knocked out 30 seconds, whatever it was. And that feels shitty, dude, because you're standing next to him, and you're taking an L with him. It's a tough walk sometimes, and I've done a lot of those. So I really want to catch some W walks, dude. So that kind of what I'm saying is the coach, he wants to fucking win, man. He wants to win really bad. So I guess back to it's a small team sport. The coach is so invested. Oh man, yeah. So it's a whole team there. Let's move on to some of the stuff that's going on here and some of the opportunities we're bringing Standish. I know you wanted to talk briefly on what your thoughts were, Ryan. Maybe Tanner had something to lead us up on, or Bob. But I'd like to hear what you seen on Tuesday night.
Yeah, I had the pleasure of stopping in the gym. I mean, boxing is back in Standish. It's great to see. You got a great setup, a full ring, heavy bags. I mean, it's hard to find that anywhere. A place that you can spar, a place that you can box, and just heavy bags at a gym. And I came here, Bob, he was helping me with my footwork. Just a lot of well-skilled, a big knowledge base of the people here working with the fighters. And even me, like I wasn't like the most fundamentally sound boxer, but I mean, you get in good enough shape, especially at amateur levels, can help you. And this will help you with that 100%, and technique. I mean, it's a great facility. It's great for the community. I just can't wait to see what you continue to do with the place, and I'm just blown away by what you've done with it so far.
Thanks, man. I really appreciate that and all them kind words. And that's just kind of, I've been struggling with this for the last 4 years in Chicago. I went through some rough roads. So let everybody know I didn't just pop up and arise with this right away. I didn't just come up with it.
We've been talking about this for like almost 2 years.
Yeah, 2 years. And I was doing it in Chicago, and I'd have 15 people there. and I advertised. I had really good fighters in there, and maybe that's where it went wrong. Is there was a lot of competition in there. I don't know what it was. There's so many gyms in Chicago. There's a lot of Chicago beef amongst coaches. I was part of some gyms there and watched fights go down in sparring matches, and it was pretty crazy. And I seen Chicago separating gyms, and I was involved so much so that I bounced around all of them gyms. Tanner himself, Tanner man talked about some of the gyms you went to read. You went to a lot of boxing gyms too and did some time boxing in Chicago. Why don't you tell a little background what you think of Chicago boxing from your experience?
Reach was pretty good. That's kind of when I got into boxing, is when Reach Fitness came about.
And what is cool about that, guys, that we're gonna do when this Reach Fitness we're talking about, it's similar to boxing in Miami, how we're gonna add weights and how we're gonna put the turf in. So that's that whole view, how that can all come together. I'll explain that to you, Ryan. What do you think about putting turf in that room and bringing other activities, and what do you think the community would like on that? And is that something you could see yourself coming into?
Oh man, absolutely. Having something like that, especially when I was a young guy, or if I lived here full time, just having a turf to come into, it's full field house size. It's going to be amazing with weights to lift, and you can work the heavy bag, any kind of workout you can imagine. I know you were talking about some batting cages.
Yeah. Like night, different things, school programs. Let's talk about some of the sponsorships we want to have. We want to be involved with SSC. We want the Panthers in here. Think about putting a big sticker of the Panthers in the wall. I don't know if the school wants to get involved with us, if they think they want to be a part of this greatness, and we want to be a part of them. I think it'd be a good fit. So that'd be cool to get, to have those guys in there. There's a lot of high
school
schools
programs.
Yeah, different school programs.
Activities, summer classes.
That's some more things.
All come.
Which brings it up. What's everyone, drop in the comments. Hey, if you guys are just tuning in, I'm Tyler with Whatever Blows Your Hair Back, and this is Ryan Stoner. And we're just two boxers in Standish giving you guys a lowdown of what our plans are with the new boxing gym in Standish and telling you some cool freaking stories along the way. So what were we talking about? Threw myself off my promotion.
You're talking about, the school. You led in the school.
Yeah, bringing the kids around. Oh,
then you were like gonna ask some sort of survey question or something like, "Hey, what
drop
should
in
we
the
do?"
comments if you think it's a good idea if we build a calendar. I know Joel and Lincoln and all the fighters. They were hyping up about making some sexy stuff. Yeah, like
selling candy bars, but instead calendars.
Yeah, instead of candy bars, we're gonna be selling calendars of these good-looking stud men in here with their pose in the ring. We're gonna sell them in school, and they're gonna do a car wash too.
Reverse it. It's gonna be the dudes.
Reverse it. Yeah, no women, just dudes. Well, that sounded weird. We'll have to figure something out. But inside of that, the long-term goal is that to raise money to get these boxers some Whatever Blows Your Hair Back logo shirts with boxing on it, just a gym to represent. So when we're running through this town working, because we're going to be going on runs, you're going to see us. We want to be uniformed and matching, and people will be like, holy shit, that's the boxing team of Standish. We will make noise like that, and they will see us doing our runs.
Hey, just going back when we were talking to Ryan earlier, as a young fighter coming up, what did that do for your confidence as far as, walking around? Did you get some more confidence out of that?
Yeah, absolutely. Like I said, I was riding the bench, and then all of a sudden, I'm the front man, and you walk with your shoulders back. Your rip torn at that point. You've been training so hard. How many times do you think an average person throws a punch that's not a boxer, just to practice throwing a simple movement of a punch? What, like 100?
37 times a year.
37 times.
37 times. It really is.
And then they talk to the wrong girl, and next thing you know, they're in a fight, and out come the haymakers. Now you take a guy that's trained on just throwing a simple punch, fundamentally the right way, 10,000 times. It's like the Japanese philosophy of, I think it's shokunin, where you do a simple task repetitively over and over and over, day after day, and get better and better at it. And you do that with boxing, just throwing a simple punch. And so when shit hits the fan, God forbid, you're ready.
Controlled danger is what we also going to talk about.
Yeah.
God forbid with that controlled danger, Ryan Stoner has.
Yeah, you got all this potential energy. You're like a rubber band that's stretched out, but you don't need to release.
And that's what we're trying to teach the youth here, is to control their danger and you know,
That's
maybe they were bullied in school and they don't know how to handle it, and this is a good way of coming and getting their aggression out and talking with a mentor, you know, and on the bags and getting some discipline learned. And
So maybe we should talk on that, guys. That's something back to the community is what we're going to give back again is, you know, if your kid's having some troubles, you know, and he's fighting or he's not, you know, he's not on the right path, we're here to help you out. You can bring him by, drop him off in the class, and we're going to make him right. What do you think of something like that, right? Giving back, you know, taking in some, you know, people that need the help.
I mean, I think it's absolutely a great idea. For one thing, you know, we talk about idle hands or the devil's playthings, whatever. You got someone that's going to be constructively using their time to better themselves, to get into shape and getting out that aggressive energy. And it's going to build confidence like Bob was talking about. And as far as like kids getting picked on or that sort of thing, that get bullied, they're going to have a lot of aggression. They're going to have a lot of resentment. And maybe that in their mind, because they're getting made fun of every day and getting their ass kicked on the reg, maybe that kid starts to think it's a good idea, I'm going to bring a bat and whoop this kid's ass. Well, you train this person to fight with their fists, maybe it never escalates to that. Maybe, and I'm not saying that fist fights are a good thing.
Yeah, but it's better than the alternative
It's better
weapon.
than the alternative. It's better than, it escalating that, where that kid feels so desperate, not to justify anything like that. But, you know, if someone can take care of themselves, maybe it just ends with fists and, you know.
Well, having that positive role model in their life too. A lot of their kids out there are single mother. You know, they got single mothers that don't have a father figure or somebody in there that can bring them up right and teach them how to handle those situations. So that's also a benefit.
Absolutely, yeah. You get them on the right track, and if you get a kid on the right track young and they learn that discipline, I mean, because life is hard work and shit, it don't get easier. The older you get, the more responsibility you have. You don't get to coast, but like the Bible talks about, the meek shall inherit the earth. And I always wondered, like, why would the meek, you know, meek and mild, why would they inherit the earth? And then I learned the root word of that from the original translation from Hebrew is meek means someone who has a sharp sword but keeps it sheathed. So, you know you're a bad motherfucker, but you don't have to get that out because you got nothing to prove.
Yeah, because what's the win? From experience, Ryan, I know me and you've been in some rumbles out in the streets. What ideally the win is someone's got hurting hands, someone's running from the cops, the police are looking for you, your name's on paper, you're paranoid, the girls or the guys, everyone at the party dispersed. I mean, the furniture's wrecked. I got millions in my mind of that. And you look back at it and it's like, what was really conquered there? You're not like, everyone's rooting for you when you come into school, like, dude, you beat that guy. Most of the time, nobody even sees it. And then they just go, you're an idiot. Why would you fight that guy in that situation? And so the outcome, mostly 95% of the time, is not in your favor anyhow in any kind of street fight. And there's really no girl ever won or taken home from that.
No, it ruins the night for everybody.
well, cops get called, the party's done.
Cops get called.
Cops get called, you ruin the party.
Yep, been to many parties like that.
And you get a little older and you look
Bummer.
back and you start to feel bad about those punches you landed, you know?
I wonder if they feel bad about the punches they took.
I don't know. I broke my hand once at Michigan State. And, I might have won that fight, but I lost over the next 8 weeks waiting tables in a cast.
Yeah, my hand the same way. I look at it every day. It's a giant lump now, and there's a rod going through it.
But he started.
Well, let's face it, there's no such
I
thing.
ever
the other
started-
guy.
There's no such thing as a fair fight anymore. I mean, back when we were younger, I mean, things were a lot different than they are now.
Yeah.
Yeah, it goes a little wild.
Yeah. But, I haven't been in a fight in, I don't know, probably since college.
Let's track back on. Make sure we're nailing down the agenda, telling the people what we wanted to let them know as well.
What about your classes? Don't you want to talk about
That's
classes?
exactly what I wanted to talk about. God. So, guys, first off, I want to thank everyone that's been coming. I want to say there's been over 20 kids come in here in the last week and a half. All new faces, all walks of life, all different cities. You got Tawas, you got All Gray, you got Pinconning. I can't wait for the Gladman. We got Bay City coming. And there was a gym in Saginaw that reached out to me that wanted to start sparring. We're not ready yet. but that's exciting that we're being recognized that quickly. So thank you all for the public for coming in. Some of the families that help, the Nixon family, you know, they bring their whole family in and work out. I think that's really cool. They all work together. So people are wondering, what's your organization? What do you have to offer as far as classes? Okay, me and Tanner's been doing this for about a month and a half now, and we've gotten used to, and we find a very valuable time from 6 until or roughly 8 o'clock. The class goes 6 to 7. We get here about 5:30, get our hands wrapped, get loosened up, say what you got to say before you hit the bags and go hard for an hour. And then you got open gym for usually 45 minutes after or however long they want to go. I let them go. So be like, all right, cool, Tyler. What's that cost? All right, so the monthly rate is $200 a month, which breaks down to $25 a session, which is well valued, worth it. It's a good workout. And so, and if there are people around here that find that to be something that's not affordable and could detour them, I would like to offer other plans for those family or folk as far as helping out around here or whatever each scenario is. Come independently talk to me and we'll work you out. If you really want to be part of the team, I'm sure you'll put the work in. There's a lot of work to do around here. So guys, does that answer something what people are asking?
I worked out Title Boxing Club down in Pensacola, and all it was you had like an instructor and everyone had a heavy bag. Didn't have the ring, nothing like this setup that you got here.
Oh, yeah.
It cost about that. And so you add this on, I'd say that's definitely.
You walk into a Chicago gym,
cost.
you don't get no attention. You're paying $75 an hour for someone to hold mitts from you. Same thing in Miami. They're $100 an hour for an hour. You get no attention. All you do is get access to the equipment. And here, you're not even punching a bag without being watched by mentors or coaches or experience. I don't allow it. When someone's in here, there's a coach watching them. When they're outside, they're with a coach. They're not. Their eyes are not taken off a coach. I can't let bad habits happen like that, because that's where bad habits are formed when people are, training themselves in their basement or training themselves in their garage. They're developing these techniques that they think they're throwing right, and in reality, it looks nothing like they're throwing it, and they come in here with this burned rhythm in their body that they can't critique, and I can't. It seems it's really hard for me to help. So that's what I'm scared of. That's why I want coaching all the time, watching eyes on.
So big quality control.
Quality control. You only get good boxers in here. When the boxers are fighting, I'm a USA boxing coach. Tanner's in the training, and Bob is a boxing coach as well. So we're trained guys in here. We got our backgrounds checked, and we're here to make sure no one gets hurt. 100%. I'm in that ring, and I'm making sure no one gets hurt. That's what I don't want. And it gets pretty wild in rings. You know that, right?
Oh yeah, it can. It can, because you get in there, you're young and you're aggressive, and you wanna show up. So you go all out, but it's sparring, and sometimes you gotta it's about learning the technique.
How many guys, you can answer this one, do you see show up in the gym and spar too soon to get punched in the face and don't like it, never see come back?
Yeah. A little gunshot after that.
And I don't want that. And I know that exists. And I used to be like that. You can come in my gym, you can get punched just because.
What about the guys that just want to come in and just lose 40 pounds and just do a good workout? And,
it's for them.
It's for not worry about just, that's cool. They want to learn how to fight. They don't really want to fight. They're just here to be around, get some camaraderie.
Yep.
Those guys, on a nice little nutrition plan, talk about their goals on what they're really here for.
Yeah,
and
gonna hit that.
I think kind of like a club membership almost.
Yeah, and
so
that's something to be offered. And yep,
club memberships, and then that could eventually turn into private sessions after we get turf laid down and get more space. Because right now, seems like we're capped at about 15 people.
Yeah, we're progressively growing, right? Like any business model, you don't build it all the way up and hope people come. Build it and invite people to come and build the marketing, to build the hype, to get people excited. And I was marketing this place 2-3 months ago, and I've been in the game for a long time, been some cool places. So all that helped me advance this fast here, and my vision for this space is already wrapped up. And we're gonna bring in turf, and we're gonna bring in batting cages, and we're gonna bring in weights. That's the next step. But as people, once we get our memberships and people paying, guys, remember we got to raise money to pay for this. We're not here to make money and killing, but we do got to earn our keep and pay for
This
the place and the
basically is a
facility.
non-profit organization right now.
Yes, it's a nonprofit
So,
right now.
Which essentially should be set up that way because that's the goal here, really, because we're not really profiting off of it.
501c3s are hard to get, them nonprofit profits, but maybe in Standish that's a
And
potential.
then we can get some grants. You know, if someone's out there that is good at stuff like that, you know.
And we'll see where that goes. And that's how come we're not taking money yet, but we're starting to pretty much.
We're realizing
now.
that
I
you
mean,
almost kind of have to right now.
we have to right now. I got insurance coming and all that good stuff. All the bills are stacking, and there's a lot of great stuff we're teaching here, and that's worth something. It's worthwhile, and it's going
It's
to a good cause for the
liability,
community.
too. You know, you got insurance on the building, you got taxes, you got utilities.
Uh-huh.
So that's, you know,
Yep.
it's just an expense people don't see that you
Got-
see every
yep.
month. Hello.
Yeah, I gotta go down to the community, you know, and for one of the meetings, let them know what I'm doing. You know, I can get my occupancy. There's these things. Hopefully, they're watching. I know that I have to get, and we're not opening to the public. It's just privately operated right now with some private just classes going on. So we can't even open until we get my occupancy and get my proof from the city, which should be no issue.
Maybe now's a good time to mention that you have that extra space that you were talking about, maybe creating a yoga space for the community.
Yeah, those girls with those dance classes, the yoga classes. What's that one the girls
Pilates?
dance around?
Oh,
Ah,
I don't know. There's all sorts of
there's
neat
all
names
kinds of
out.
them, but
yeah, it's out there. And
Like Zumba or something?
Zumba, yeah. I think it's Zumba. And so we have rooms available for that. We don't have the staff to teach those. We're primarily narrowing in on boxing right now and growing this, and everything else kind of builds around it. So the opportunities, I'm willing to give the space, you know, and to get it going and
you can
give
only
free
grow as
rent.
fast as, you know, people want to join.
Yeah, and I'm willing to give you guys free rent until you get your feet on the get out from underneath you, or whatever I'm trying to say, until you get on your feet. So I'm willing to help you. So I'll do all this. If you've got people with a vision and want to participate in it, you got to show up. All you got to do is just show up on Tuesday and talk to us. I'm a yes guy lately.
Yeah.
I was just looking at this. It's a pretty nice studio you got here. You kill a mastodon?
No, this is a black carpet rug my mom got me for about 5-6 years ago for Christmas. And I was just sick of seeing it get dirt. And for some reason, I seen this vision and we casted it.
I like it. Now you got something down here. You kill that? There?
No, that's a sheep.
All
If
right.
you notice, I got kangaroos, raccoons, beaver furs. We got a little
Our Uncle
theme
Gary, he's a trap master.
of some trappers in the
one in
house.
Alaska?
Sense and a Weasel. You should watch it.
What
Yeah.
is
It's a
it?
movie. It's a show. He had a show.
Oh, nice.
Trapping show.
Sorry to interrupt, guys. I got to let this one out. Hey, guys, I'm Tyler with Whatever Blows Your Hair Back. We got Ryan in the house. We're the Standish fighters from back in the day, and we're just telling our stories and letting you guys know the opportunity that's coming up and what we're building in Standish and all the advantages and what's coming. Anything to add on that, Ryan?
No, it's real cool being in this studio setting. It reminds me of back in the day when we were in high school. We used to make those movies.
God.
Some of you might have heard of
Raging
them.
Maniacs.
The Raging Maniacs. Now we're just a bunch of aging maniacs.
Raging Maniacs. Who's
But,
in it? Sean Shimura. I think I had a line in there, a green shingle or something.
Oh,
It's
yeah.
crazy. I don't know how it ever came about. But
Me?
all the Mike Reed, John Scarback, Ryan Stoner, Justin Stoner, Sean Shimura, Kevin Calaquin. And I
Daniel
love those
Ziff
videos.
Ory,
Oh yeah, Nathaniel Ori,
Carl Sapp.
Sapp, guy
Justin
talked
You
to.
guys
Stoner.
had some pretty good videos.
They were good videos, man. They were the jackasses of Standish.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Jumping off the school. I think you broke your ankle jumping off the school.
I don't think it broke.
Who was
It
the
was
editor?
spraying.
He was like, oh,
It
fuck.
was a bad
It was the
sprain,
high
yeah.
school. You jumped off the roof of it.
I remember.
It was a good shot.
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 Kevin Calaquin did a front flip off Mike Reed's house into a bush.
He was crazy.
Oh,
Dude. He did
my God.
front flips out of my barn loft onto a trampoline.
He
man.
would seriously get hurt and blood. He put his hand on a dartboard, him and Ricky Beavers, and they let everyone throw darts, steel ones at him. And the darts were hitting their hand, hanging with, you'd see the pointer poking out the other side. He's like, and he's sitting there holding there, got him in the arm. I mean, those
I've
guys
seen him
were
at a
wild,
party take
man.
a knife and do this thing.
Oh, yeah.
Cuts everywhere.
Some
Another
wild
motherfucker.
shit. Some wild stuff.
Yeah. But yeah, when we made those videos.
Skateboarding videos, man. You were skating.
Yeah. and we had to put music in them, and those were VHSs, and it wasn't like today.
Dude, the
where
editing.
you can just throw it.
The editing you guys did. I
Oh,
remember you had the
dude, took
VCRs
weeks.
linked
We had
together.
so what we do to put the music in is we'd have the video on the VHS, and then we'd record music. We just set the camera next to a CD player, record the audio, plug in just the audio jack to the recording, and put it on a second VHS, and transition the video and from the VHS and the audio from that camera to overlay the music.
Dude, it was,
was
and then you had
crazy.
words come in for your titles, your names. I don't even know how you guys introduced yourself, like how you got that editing in.
Yeah,
dude,
it wasn't
over all that
PowerPoint and
later.
shit. I mean, they might have had it, but we weren't up to snuff on that. It
I
wasn't
watched it in high
easy.
school. They were playing it in like senior send off. Well, before I got
Well,
kicked
yeah,
out.
they had PowerPoint, but like video editing, like these days, you could throw like Snapchat or whatever.
No,
the hell
I didn't. No, I'm
people
saying
do.
I watched your Raging Maniacs tape in science class at high school.
Oh, yeah.
I was like, whoa, they did it. They did it, and
We
man,
had some pull at that school.
yeah, those guys don't read, and Scarbeck, they don't talk to me anymore. I haven't talked to them in 10 years. They won't respond to me. I hope they watch this and be like, man, maybe we should call Tyler, because he ain't got no beef with you.
Yeah, man. Great guys, dude. Some of the funniest people I've met reading Scarbeck. Good guys. I don't know what that's about. I doubt there's any specific beef or
That can't be,
I
because
don't
there
know.
is none.
I think it's just they're just living their lives, and I don't know, man.
You say, hey, man, you
Maybe
text
they don't-
me,
they're
I say
afraid to
hi to
look
you. I
back.
talk to everybody. You just, all it is, hey, hello, I'm alive. All right, that's all I wanted.
Some people left Standish and never looked back, and for some reason, it's hard for them to. And maybe,
There's the truth, something like that. And they're chasing their own dreams, and maybe they're not where they want to be, and they could see some other people maybe where they want to be, and just don't want to see that and be around that. So that's what maybe something around there I come up with, but I don't know.
But yeah, I did hear from them. They texted me. I don't hear much from them, but recently, when my dad passed, they reached out, which was nice.
Yeah, and I rest in peace, Gary Stoner. Ryan, sorry to hear that. Your father passed, so that was just
Good
recent.
man.
That was just recent.
Yep.
Well, guys, I think we're hitting all the notes. Is there anything,
what
Tanner?
else? So we talked about the classes, what we got coming up, the future of the turf, and where we're going with that.
The weightlifters are coming. Yeah, we talked about the weightlifting, the turf, the
Just,
baseball.
just one day at a time, is basically.
One day at a
comes down
time.
to.
And if people want to come help, we're going to do it faster.
Yeah.
Well, I was telling Tanner when I got here earlier today about staying in shape and how he's looking pretty good. And I told him, I said, yeah, I'm just staying in shape long enough to lock down a woman and I can let myself go.
Not
but
staying in shape's a lifestyle.
no,
man.
it is.
It's a lifestyle.
It's tough out there, though. Being single,
If you ain't in
single
shape,
man in America,
if
not
you're-
easy.
Yeah, if you're not in shape, there's some criteria that you must check off. Being in shape is one of them if you're a single guy out there, because you're competing with guys you got to set yourself aside just in something right away.
Yeah.
And then whatever else can come, but you got to start what's in your control. If you're not in shape, it shows that you don't care enough about yourself. So how do you have time to care about somebody else if you can't take care of yourself?
Yeah, you kind of.
But I mean, we all been where we got out of shape.
Yeah,
But that's how you get back into shape. You tell yourself, like, is this right? Is this acceptable? Because this is what I'm accepting looking in the mirror. Why am I, if I don't accept this, why would someone else accept this? So, like, the logic there is, like, be happy with yourself, and others will be happy with you and for you, and therefore greatness will rise.
Yeah, it's true. Like like being single is kind of like I liken it to being like a hunter gatherer. I got this theory I'm working on.
Oh, God, here we go.
Like single, you're a hunter gatherer, and in being married, you're like a farmer. As a farmer, you're getting the same crop year after year, but it's coming in faithfully, and you know where your meals.
You know
coming
your
from.
yields, man.
You know
can-
your yields. Yeah. But then when you're a single guy, you're like a hunter gatherer, and you're out there, and you
On the
may
prowl.
not. You may go a long time without eating, and then when you do eat, it might be a possum. But every now and then, you might bag an elk.
Oh,
But you gotta
man.
eat.
I like it. I like it.
Tanner's I'm not a single man. I got a girlfriend. So I can see where you guys can relate with that.
You've been in our shoes.
I've been in your shoes before, and it's you're not far off. So it's a tough game out there. So start with what's in your control. What's in your control is how good a shape you are, your diet, what you put into your. Leads with one more thing I want to really talk about that I guess been dreaming and thinking about is a juice bar and protein bar after my workout. One thing I must require, and a body must be replenished with the correct nutrients, and just to have that here. And I'm gonna ask the boxers next time if that's something that would interest them. I did a lot of math problems, guys. I'm like, okay, so what do you charge for a juice, fresh squeeze, everything making, paying someone to do it, the facility? And I started at $5 a juice, and I did the math, and you're losing. There's no way you can make it. So the price I come up with is like $8.99 for a juice, and that's not really making any money. That's just turning on the lights and just getting everyone what they need. So,
But you're getting the proper nutrients.
but you're getting the
It's
proper
good.
nutrients, you're getting the health, and it's a start. It's part of the formula. It's part of the formula is the outtake care of your body. It's what you do after you leave the gym. Getting the right nutrients replenished right away is very important. And then for your older people, it's your post-workout care. You need to get to the right stretches. Some people need to stretch when they're done working out. I would like to get these relationships built with physical therapists. There's a lot of injuries that people have that they think they're treating right, and they just really not, because the injury comes from a different part of your body. And I know everyone's ego tells them they got it figured out. But I've been on lots of journeys, and they're not quick fixes when you get hurt. They're journeys. And what you learn along the way is some cool stuff about your body. And so that's how I take my injuries, as a journey and learning stuff about. And so why I'm bringing on the juices and therapists and some other massage machines in the future to help get your body taken care of after. So that's something that I really want for myself, and I want to share with others. But everyone's got to be on board with what it's going to cost, and the community's got to agree. I'm not just going to start something and charge something and just sit there and wonder why it didn't work. I do the proper market research and the surveys and the communication before we do it. So there's awesome stuff we're building here. I can't wait to start telling everyone when we start doing it. Just everyone hold on tight, and we got some great stuff coming.
Hey, last night you were over, me, you, and my stepdad, the Troms, local chiropractor. Good man.
Local legend.
Local legend.
I thought you were going there.
Terry Trombley is
Also
the biggest.
local chiropractor.
Terry Trombley is a mentor of a mentor of ours. He was the one that would take a kid, and no one really knew who the kid was, and he'd see that something was wrong, and he'd go grab a hold of him and give him the talk. And he didn't do that for to get anything back.
Right.
He did it from my older brother all the way down to it'd be your youngest brother, I think, so the last one out. And he was in the circuit for 20 years of mentoring.
Yeah.
And in my mind, we deserve to give that man something back, because he's given it all to us. I mean, just from when he would pay us to help, or what he would do, what he would buy for us. And I just, one man I want to repay as soon as I can is that man. And so he has a free membership here. He doesn't pay anything. When Terry Trombley walks in here, he is the godfather. And I'm excited to give him that, and it is deserved. And if you see Terry Trombley in this gym and you're struggling with something, he's the guy to talk to. He'll tell you what phase you're in, the reality check of it. He might even grab a hold of your shoulder and
He'll
really just put you in a spot
nerve.
hold.
It might just drop you.
And he'll tell you the truth. And it's the real truth. And it may hurt, but it's coming.
Oh,
and that's Terry Trombley for you. So what I had out of that conversation with you and him at that table with the baseball game on, probably remember it forever. It was the most simple, peacefulest thing ever. We didn't talk much. It was just being in the pure presence of greatness and a good friend. And I think that's what life's about, is what people are looking for, is those moments. And man, did we find it last night.
Yeah.
Another one right now too.
Yeah, this
Another
is
one
nice.
right now.
When I think it was it was Christmas, and you were talking about how you were gonna get this place going, and you were talking to Terry, and you're like, "Yeah, we're gonna have 2 sets of rules on the wall. One set is gonna be rules for the gym, and the other set's gonna say Trom's rules. And under that, it'll say there are no rules."
Yeah. There's not. He gave the ultimate sacrifice. I mean, he just gives himself. I mean, I went over there yesterday with a pain in my side. He was eating dinner, and I was like, "Hey, man, my rib." And he put his fork down. He's like, "Get on the table." I go, No, eat first. He put his whole time and everything before. Like, everyone knows when they go home and relax for dinner and someone walks in the door. For someone to sacrifice that time and just stop everything in their tracks to fix you, but they have no payout for, that's something he said about that man.
Yeah. He's a good man, selfless man. He's the machine, man.
Yeah, so there's guy. I think I got off tangent on that, but what we were getting at is there's going to be some good mentors around here, right?
Absolutely.
Let's wrap this up and let's conclude this. Or you guys got anything quick you want to say, or I want to go over what we just talked about?
No, I don't have my list, so that's where I've struggled this whole time.
I'll add something.
Yeah, go ahead, Ryan. Give the conclusion, Ryan.
All right. I would I just say it's something important about like a place like this. I've found in life, like happiness is not a goal. Well, it could be, but for me, that's never worked. Happiness is a byproduct. A byproduct of what? Of doing productive and edifying things.
Hell yeah,
so what's
man.
productive? Productive is working out at the gym. It's going to work. It's taking out the fucking trash. You know, you do those things, you're going to feel better about yourself. And a lot of times you get that mental block that says, oh, I don't want to use the energy to work out. But if you think instead about the reward of how good you'll feel afterward and focus on that, it becomes a lot easier. And the other category of things that I need to do to stay happy, I call edifying. And that is stuff I think that I'd say feeds your mind and feeds your soul. Maybe that's going to church for some people. Maybe it's meditating. Maybe it's just helping other people. But doing those sorts of things in tandem and regularly, you know, the byproduct of that I've found to be happiness. So a place like this is crucial in that kind of three-legged stool of mind, body, spirit.
Very well put. That was well put.
You know, Ryan, you've always had a gift with words, and I enjoy listening to it. And there's a reason that you wrote all my college papers. I've always been good at hiring the right man for the job, and God damn it.
And then
you're
no
a lawyer.
ChatGPT took your job.
Actually, it did. I had
all
some
in
Chicago fabricators. Give a shout out Chicago Fabrications. Why all this is here, you know, Chicago Fabrications brought all this to life, and that being around. That being said, once again, thank you, Ryan, for bailing Chicago Fabs out of trouble with whatever I was getting myself into in Chicago. But now Ryan's a lawyer now, and when I get into trouble, not only is my good friend, he's a mentor for younger people. He's in good shape. He has good input. He's also a lawyer, you know, so what better people to surround yourself by with characters such as Ryan.
Oh, I appreciate that.
Great show, guys. Loved it.
So yeah,
Thanks, man.
Once again, guys, I'm Tyler with Whatever Blows Your Hair Back, and we're streaming live out of here in the Standish studio with the best, hottest skyline in the Standish view. And we got Ryan Stoner here today, and he told us awesome stories. If you guys didn't get it, make sure to follow us, like, subscribe, follow back, and re-watch us at home and show your friends. We talk about all the greatness we're bringing into the city and how we're going to do it, the prices we're going to charge, the areas we're going to conquer, and the buildings that we're going to put up and develop.
That's
so
right.
stay tuned,
That's right.
Standish.
That's right.
We're signing out. Tanner.